Hey, how you doing? It's Clayton Teeney from the First Home Buyer Club. 100 lessons in 100 days. Day 39, lesson 39. And firstly, I want to talk about the big day I've had. So I've driven over 400 kilometers today, driving from client to client. Celebrated with two clients for the settlement of their new blocks of land. And then after installing retaining walls for another client, we discussed what we planned on doing in the future to make sure that their block is perfect. And now we're moving to what today's topic. What I want to talk about is buying a home with a friend or family. A lot of people think that, if you're going to buy a home, it needs to be with the partner or your partner. That's not always the case. I've helped clients, and we've also, I bought my third home with my best mate here in Brisbane at one point, because there were some great incentives in buying together. And one was we could choose the area we wanted to live. When we obviously separately, we couldn't afford the areas we wanted at the time. So we joined forces as such and purchased in an area that was both convenient to our works and our lifestyles. And it's somewhere that it suited us perfectly. So I want to talk about some pros and cons in buying a home with a friend or a family, and things you need to look out at long term. So firstly, the pros. Generally, you have a higher borrowing capacity to choose the areas you want to live. Secondly, by choosing areas you want to live, you're probably going to stay there a little bit longer. But more importantly, you probably would have been renting there or close by. So at least now your money is going into your own mortgage instead of someone else's. And with the low interest rates at the moment, obviously it's beneficial, because a lot of comparable homes, you're paying less in mortgage repayments than what you would be paying in rent. So the last one I want to talk about is equity, because obviously when you're starting to pile your own money into your mortgage and into the offset account, it helps you pay off that home faster, which then helps you build up the equity faster. Now, things that you do need to be aware of if you are buying with a friend or family is have a plan for the future. And what I mean by that is have that discussion with that friend or that family member and say, hey, what happens in 12 months or 24 months or 36 months or whenever it is, if you meet someone or I meet someone and we want to part ways, then what's going to happen? Put it in an agreement of some sort so you're both on the same terms early on, because the last thing you want to be doing, and especially if it's with a family member, last thing you want to be doing is a year or 2 years into it, having a massive fight because you just want to part ways and you can't agree amicably on the right terms and who gets what in the house. So that's obviously, make sure the agreement's in place as a negative, and you don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? So have that conversation. Now, can you buy homes with friends or family in an owner-occupier way or an investment way? Of course you can. And then obviously there's things like rent vesting and using the first home buyer grant incentives to purchase a home with a friend or family member. And then after that 12-month period comes in, you part ways and use that house as a rental property, and then look at paying it down faster again so that you guys have both got equity. Again, have that discussion with that friend or family member to make sure, okay, what's going to be the trigger? 5 years, we're going to sell it. 10 years, we're going to sell it. When we get to 50% equity, are we going to sell it? Make sure you're both on the same terms with this, so there's no disagreements or unsureties about what's going to happen. Also, make sure you're both contributing the same amount, right? So if you're putting an extra $200 a week and they can't afford $200 a week, make sure that the agreement's in place so that it's going to be split separately or split actually evenly for how much you contribute, not just a 50-50 no matter what. At the moment, you got the first home buyer grant, $15,000. You got the home builder boost, $25,000, all for owner occupiers. That's $40,000. Unfortunately, the loan deposit scheme, which the new part of this is now the new home guarantee, because it's only for new homes. You're not eligible if you buy it with a friend or family member, but you can still get the first two. A good incentive to come in. If not, look at buying by yourself and using friends to help you pay it off, to bring it down quicker. You might have friends that work out. So just have those conversations and see what's going to happen and see how it will suit for you guys. All right, I'm going to keep it short and sweet today. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. and talk to you tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.